Hi there, Christopher L. here. This video I want to talk to you about Easter in Acts 12:4. Easter in Acts 12:4 is a mistranslation of the word Pascha. That's Greek. And it should be translated as Passover. This is the passage as translated in the King James Version, Acts 12, verses 3 and 4. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. That should read intending after Passover. The King James Onlyist declares the word Easter belongs in the passage, even though the Greek word Pascha has been translated 28 other times as Passover in the King James. They point out that there are a lot of words that are translated differently in the Bible, meaning one word in Greek might have 3 or 4 different words in English to get the point across. And this is true, but Pascha never should have been one of them. They will tell you Easter comes from the ancient pagan fertility festival centered around the goddess Easter or Ishtar. They will tell you that this festival happened around the same time as Passover, and that King Herod had to be celebrating the pagan festival. The problem is, there's nothing to support the King James only theory. While it's true the Bible says Passover comes before the Feast of Unleavened Bread, that is not the end of the story. There are a couple of problems, and the King James Onlyists can't overcome this. The first problem is there's nothing in history suggesting King Herod was a pagan, not in the Bible and not in Josephus' accounts or any of the writings of the rabbis. In fact, he was known as being a Jewish king who interceded on behalf of the Jews despite his Roman connections. The second problem is the Bible itself explains how Peter could have been arrested during the days of unleavened bread, and Herod could still be waiting for Passover to finish, even though Passover technically comes before the days of unleavened bread. For those who don't know, the Gospel of Luke and the Acts of the Apostles were written by the same author. Luke obviously had a greater understanding of the Jewish culture, as he pointed out something that few Christians realize, and that is that the Feast of Unleavened Bread is also referred to as Passover. Luke 22:1. Now the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is called the Passover, was approaching. Yes, it's true, the Feast of Unleavened Bread was and is called the Passover. Luke knew Passover was a name for the entire week. This doesn't contradict passages in the Old Testament that state Passover is a day followed by the days of unleavened bread, but instead it reflects how the Jews viewed the week and what they came to call it. Even today, Passover in the Jewish community refers to the entire week, not just the day of Passover. Of course, when I bring Luke 22:1 to the attention of King James Onlyists, they don't really have an answer for it. So if you are a King James Onlyist, I ask you, can you explain away Luke 22:1? Do you not see how the same author of the 2 books would use the term Passover even if Peter was arrested in the days of unleavened bread? You may not accept this as fact, but it is what it is. Until next time, happy Jesus Day. God bless and peace out.